different.
Glass is the greatest. That's where real expansion of your mind and talents can be found. Turn on. Tune out of the rat race and its square problems. And tune in on real self-knowledge and creative power.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Jedi Brandon Kenobi, and today we're going to be talking about Disney Star Wars AHSOKA, Episode 6, which is titled Far, Far Away. And Episode 6 starts off with Morgan the Witch, Balin, Sabine, and Shin arriving at the unknown galaxy. And soon as they arrive, 3 Dathomir witches are there. And they don't know Morgan personally, but they were aware that she was coming, and not because of the Mac MacGuffin, but only because they sent some type of magical signal that travels through the galaxy? What is this? These witches, can do everything. This show seems to only make sense if you don't think about it. The dialogue is still weak, but one positive that I will add is the witches. Their look is correct, and I thought was a great live adaptation of the Witches of Dathomir. And immediately after arriving, they throw Sabine straight in a jail cell. I thought we had a deal. Yeah, a deal to double cross you? Who do you think you're dealing with? These are dark force users. These aren't good people. Why do you think they would honor their deal? And it just really disappoints me because I want to like these characters, but they aren't giving us anything. Nothing to think about, nothing to come back to, nothing to remember. And that is truly unfortunate because I love Star Wars, but this just ain't it. And meanwhile, Ahsoka's still traveling inside the completely stable space whale, and they got time to tell stories? Once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away. Hu Yang, just shut up. I know you're just trolling us now. You want to try to give us that old Star Wars feeling, but guess what? This doesn't feel like the old Star Wars. But anyways, Thrawn finally arrives with his broken down Star Destroyer, and they don't explain how he survived, what he's been doing, how did he separate from Ezra. None of that gets answered. And we finally get the first live action appearance of Thrawn, and he walks in looking like Mrs. Doubtfire, overweight, out of shape, looking like he's had plenty of steak. And to make this moment even more underwhelming, the stormtroopers / night troopers are chanting his name.
Thrawn, 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 Thrawn.
Chanting his name like they're in some type of gladiator arena. And to make this appearance even more stranger, they're all wrapped in red turbans and bandanas. Except for one, Enoch, the captain of Thrawn's guards. Why is his helmet like that in the face part? I don't know. Do I even care at this point? Not really. What is this supposed to be, Captain Phasma mixed with the Necromonger from the Chronicles of Riddick? The more questions I ask, the more disappointed I get. Thrawn is so smart, but for some reason, he agrees to honor Balin's agreement with Sabine, and he tells Sabine he will allow her to go find Ezra,
the Mad Goose Wizard.
And I don't even understand why he would even do that. Thrawn's supposed to be a mathematical genius. He should already know where Ezra is. He traveled to this galaxy with him, right? So how did they split up from each other? I just wish this show would give us more, but each episode seems to be answering less and giving us zero explanation of what's going on. So they give Sabine all her armor back, all her weapons, lightsaber, GPS, new shoes, food, and they send her on her merry way to go find Ezra. And of course, while she's searching, a group of random non-Tusken raiders, but alien scavengers with staffs that live in the desert attack her. And we get another action scene that means absolutely nothing. And this scene is going on so crazy, you don't even want to stop and think about it to see what's even happening. Because if you do, you're gonna start asking too many questions. Like, how does this add or subtract from the story? For me, this scene was a subtract because we're supposed to believe she can take on 5 alien scavengers with staffs that live in the desert that have no relations to Tusken Raiders. They just look like Tusken Raiders, but they don't fight like Tusken Raiders. The choreography for this scene is terrible. She getting shot all over, hit in the neck, back. I think she even took a few shots in the head, but she still takes no damage. And she doesn't even use the lightsaber until the end. And again, why don't we get any dismemberments? And you know what? I could accept the no dismemberments if the fight scenes were good, but it wasn't. When you make a character do something that blatantly goes against what you know that character would do, just so your hero can get the upper hand or win the fight, that's just terrible writing. You should be able to write around that or write your character into that, how they would win that fighting. You shouldn't have to turn any of your characters down. If anything, you make her level up. Instead of leveling down the character she's supposed to interact with, they literally had the scavengers scavenger Tusken Raider swinging in the wrong direction during the fight so she could get the upper hand, but it just looked weak and almost comedic. And after she whoops all 5 of them, she continues her search while riding a werewolf in London. And this is another little part that doesn't make any sense to me. Thrawn then sends Balin and Shin after Sabine. Why when he had her in his captivity? I don't know. You could have just taken her out then, but this is the story they've given us. So Sabine continues to travel, and then she comes across these little crab aliens that hide inside rocks, and she immediately points a gun at him. Why does she do that? I don't know. He's clearly unarmed and helpless. But I will add one thing. The look of the little alien creatures actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than the Porg design, but after communicating for a short time, the little alien crab recognizes the patch on her shoulder. He's actually wearing a necklace with the same symbol. But let me go back to Thrawn for one moment. He says it matters not whether Ren and Bridger are killed or stranded here. And the more he talks, the dumber he's starting to look. He's literally speaking in riddles. He gave Sabine permission to go track down Ezra Miller,
the Mad Goose Wizard.
Then he sends Balin and Shin after her. And then he follows that with, it doesn't matter whether Bridger or Ren are killed. Okay, if it doesn't matter, then why are you doing it? Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to talk about this one scene during the attack when the non-Tusken Raiders / scavengers tried to attack Sabine. Her wolf dog just left her and ran away, which is pretty realistic to me. But the animal comes back eventually, and then she wants to argue with it, talking about, you left me here to die. What? He doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe you any type of loyalty. In fact, that's not even your dog. But she's yelling at him like she's known him for years. This series is really based on a cartoon, because this is all cartoon plot. Dave Filoni is writing these characters the same way that he writes them in the animation. But you can't write the characters the same exact way if you're gonna bring them to live adaptation. That's why a lot of this just feels stupid. And the planet, Peridia, or wherever the hell they are right now, just looks terrible. Nothing going on in the background. All of it just looks dreary. So the little crab aliens take Sabine back to their camp, and there's crabs everywhere. Crab houses, crab babies, crab cakes. Can you lend a crab a pencil? And then we finally get the big reveal. And guess who else has been crabbing out? Ezra. And he pops up looking like Cheech and Chong. What's up, dude? Want some death sticks? So she broke all the rules for this. She gave everything up just to give him a little old hug. No explanation, no kiss, no payoff. I like the actor that's playing Ezra, but this was just so underwhelming. 6 episodes after searching for Thrawn, searching for Ezra, and the payoff they've given us is nothing. Sabine instantly starts lying to Ezra during their first conversation. Well, she's not exactly lying, but she's completely avoiding telling Ezra the truth. The truth about how she's really gotten there. No mention of Thrawn, no mention of Ahsoka. We get nothing from this scene. She tells him she just wants to be happy with him, that she just found him. Why? Why would she want time to relax when she knows she is now in danger? Thrawn is on their way to attack her and her friends, so relaxing and hanging out with somebody who's a platonic friend, it's not going to do anything for your situation. I'm not sure if they're doing this on accident or this is just the way they're writing these characters, but they're not doing a good job on making these strong female characters look competent. No one can tell me what she's doing right now is a good idea. So the witches can feel that Ahsoka is getting closer and they alert Thrawn to her presence. And that part's a little strange too, because if they can sense Ahsoka coming, why can't they sense where Ezra was, hiding on the planet? I mean, he was just a few clicks off, right? So then he sends Morgan to find out all information on Ahsoka. And as smart as he is supposed to be, I'm surprised he doesn't know anything about her already. But that's all I got for episode 6 of Ahsoka. If you liked the video and you like what you heard, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time with more movie news reviews.
Turn out of the rat race and its square problems, and tune in on real self-knowledge and creative power.